Hey, welcome back to the Infus Podcast. This is Brian.
This is Daryl.
And this is episode 488, Disney and the Alien Queen Problem. I'm very proud of these titles I've been coming up with without ChatGPT's help lately.
There you go.
All right. This week we're talking Alien Earth, episode 3. And then we're going to talk about Disney's boy problem. Disney has turned all their boy brands into girl brands, and they don't know how to fix them at all.
I mean, spoiler alert, shouldn't have done it in the first place.
Well, you spend a couple $1 billion, $4 billion each for Star Wars and Marvel, and you get I think at this point they have not yet made back the $4 billion from
Star Wars.
From Star Wars because of all the losses.
Yeah,
like Solo lost like $300 million at the end of the day. Not
Solo
not
lost
counting
money.
The box office loss. I'm talking
you
about
know what else?
The fact that Ron Howard made them reshoot the movie. And yeah, Reylos are weird. So
the second they said the Force is female,
yeah,
you knew it was just going to be a clusterfuck.
We're not going to blow our load on this right now. So
no, there's plenty of
there's a lot all over the place. So, but we will give we do have a little Sophie's Choice thing later on about what you would trade to run Star Wars, and I solved the Kobayashi Maru. So anyway, all right. Before we get into this, you have a favorite movie because you are literally a 13-year-old girl. It's called K-Pop Demon Hunters. It's on Netflix, and apparently it's the most watched movie on Netflix in the history of Netflix.
Yes, it just passed Red Notice, which I did not realize Red Notice was number one.
Okay. Red Notice was number one. I don't believe that, but okay.
But yeah, so K-Pop Demon Hunters not only did that, but it did this past weekend. So apparently they have a sing-along version of the movie that went in theaters this weekend and made between like $16 to $18 million this weekend, which would have been, I think, number one.
Yeah. Wow.
So again, it's been out on Netflix, by the way, for a month, I believe.
Yeah, and to be fair, they've announced a sequel.
Oh, good. So that movie was so much fun.
It's moving ahead as Sony and Netflix engage in deal talks. The deal making comes as the runaway sensation lands on the list of the streamer's most watched English language films of all time. Few could have imagined. All I know is the two anime girls who are nerds that I know that love anime the most, you and Haley, love this movie.
I think that was a little jab after my comment before we went on air, and I take offense to that.
I can't help it that you're an anime girl.
Well, I mean, I can't help it that one of your favorite properties of all time is an anime. So,
I'll derail the whole podcast right now and pull the article back up and read it again. I mean, I'm happy to do it. I did it to the kid like a month ago. I just pulled it up on my phone and started reading.
It's okay.
Okay. 2, I've seen so many things about this movie where people are like, Netflix should have just released this in theaters. And my response to every single one of them is, do you understand Netflix's business model?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that they never tried to get away from the whole idea of Netflix and chill.
Yeah. This is one of those instances where you can say anything you want. There is no way they expected or anyone that watched it at first expected. Again, I wanted to see it when I first saw the trailer. but I waited. I think I watched it a week later,
Yeah.
like after it came out or something like that, and I had no idea it was blowing up the way it did. It
Mhm.
was. I
Yep.
didn't even as much as I did not expect that. So to say, oh, they should have released it in theaters, and then guess what? If this would have flopped,
Hmm.
people would have been like, why did you release it in theaters?
Oh
No,
yeah.
that is going back. That's like when they say Monday morning quarterbacking. No, there's no way you could have expected this movie to do what it did.
Yeah.
No way in the world.
Nobody looked at this trailer and was like, "This is a movie like that's gonna just break down
Oh,
all
this is gonna kill it at
barriers
theater.
of
Yeah,
yeah."
like get
So
out of here. Yeah. And again, I thought it was just going to be some, simple stuff. I did not expect to like it as much as I did.
yeah, I
So,
mean, I assumed you and Haley were gonna like it, just you know,
I
being
mean,
anime girls, but yeah, I see, I get what you're saying. Like it's
it,
one of those things where it's like, okay, this what is this? Is this good? Let's find out. And I'll be
and
honest,
again,
it's in my list. Like,
and this is the
so
thing.
I might watch it. Probably
This
won't,
is
but I
where
might.
instead of just screwing up what has been for decades been a primarily boy-driven product in Star Wars
Mhm.
and in the last decade and a half, the MCU, this is what you do. Yes, I'm a guy. I like it. It's not made for me,
Mhm.
but that shows you how you can create something. If you want to if you want to bring the female audience in, Disney,
Mhm.
Lucasfilm,
Mhm.
Kevin Feige,
Mhm.
without shitting on what came before it, and that's what they've done.
So yeah, and like this is it's a net new like thing, right? It's not based
Right?
off of
Yeah.
anything. So I mean,
Correct. Yeah.
technically, it's not anime. So there's that. But anyway, I digress.
Well, I will say even
It,
like anime generally does not have like songs in it.
yeah.
So even if it was based off a manga property, it's
Like
technically anime, but again,
to
it's
tie in what we're going to talk about after Alien, right?
yeah.
Um, this is the type of stuff Disney should do for girls, and like it's not just a movie for girls; it was a movie for everyone. And
Oh,
here's the thing: Sony and Netflix now gets that.
yes.
So Sony has Sony did not go down the I don't really want to use the word woke, but the woke rabbit hole that some of these studios went down.
Mm. Yes, I would tend to agree. Yes. I
Like
mean,
you look at like the spider, like just the Spider-Man everything, right? Um, they made a
this,
Madam Web movie, but that wasn't like we're replacing Spider-Man. It's just
no,
Madam Web and she's trying to save these three teenage girls who might be spiders. Um, and that was the movie. It was really
yeah,
bad. Like
yeah.
it was
They,
just bad.
again, I
But
mean, since we're right here, we might as well talk about it now instead of jumping off. So,
fine.
I mean, it's this is the thing
All right,
with
hold on. Are we gonna start talking about the Disney stuff now?
yes, I mean, because this is just like the perfect segue into it. Instead of interrupting that, let's just continue on with it.
Why do you hate me?
That's Kathleen Kennedy that hates us all.
Okay, so fine. Um, but now I got to go through and re-edit the show notes. And, oh God, you just made so much more work for me. Anyway, all right.
Wah, wah.
Maybe if you would help some, I wouldn't complain so much.
Well, you have Mr. Chat to help you.
Well, I mean, at least ChatGPT would come pick up its present that I bought it.
That's the second attack you've had on me that, you know.
Anyway, but I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where. All right, so all right, we talked about this a while ago
Mhm.
after Chris Gore talked about it, and and for good reason, right? like Chris Gore a number of months ago really hit the nail on the head. Like the biggest mistake in movie making pop culture history is that Disney turned Marvel and Star Wars from boy brands into girl brands. And here's the thing about boy brands. Boy brands, like calling it a boy brand is a misnomer. It's a everyone is welcome brand. A girl brand, look at Barbie. The Barbie movie was not for anyone but women.
Especially after hearing about how like the movie's themes and stuff, which again, it doesn't mean that you can't enjoy something that's specifically it's just and I liken this. That's why when people say it's not made for it, look at all of these movies like Toy Story, the Toy Story franchise. Look at some of the Lion King stuff. Yes, those are made for kids, but there are things in it everyone can enjoy. The Puss in Boots movies, which I like the third one, The Last Wish.
Yeah.
That movie was so damn good, and it talks about getting older, talks about, the prospects of death as you're moving. It's some serious stuff, but again, it's technically made for kids, but there were themes in there that hit hard for adults. So what they've done is they have made it so different. And again, it's not just that the fact that they've tried to pivot to making it for girls and for females. The thing is, the females don't like what they've done.
It's like the WNBA. Like the WNBA is not a league for everyone, but the people who watch the WNBA are guys who just love sports, right? It's like all these women who are out there like, oh, pay them what they deserve. Then go to a fucking game.
Name one player on your team that's not like Caitlin Clark.
Angel Reese, who should marry Shadur Sanders. I really am on board with this.
And let's be honest. If it wasn't for what she did with Caitlin Clark in college, nobody would know Angel Reese's name.
I mean, honestly, in 2 years, nobody's going to know Angel Reese's name unless she's like doing really gross stuff on the internet. Which, who knows? But anyway, so we're talking about this because for Variety, just the other day on the 21st came out with this article: Disney's Boy Trouble. Studio seeks original IP to win back Gen Z amid Marvel Lucasfilm struggles. And this is like where they've learned all the wrong lessons. If you want to win back, and like they're going after Gen Z, which I find really funny, which is 13 to 28. There are a lot of millennial and like for us younger Gen X who are like still in our prime movie going, toy buying, binge watching prime. Right? Like last month I went to a movie. I went to 4 movies last month. I went to 2 movies in one weekend. I don't see a lot of other people doing that. And the thing about this is they don't. I really like this line: Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty aren't the only ones looking for a prince. They don't need a fucking prince. What they need is that classic hero's journey. What they need is an aspirational hero. And this is where James Gunn got it wrong. I mean, I would almost say Superman 2025 is a girl movie. Because he's all about his feelings and being sensitive, and he's overreacting because he's emotional. And then Lois she basically cucks him out twice in the movie.
Yeah, like the fact that
like that
James
Superman
Gunn
uses the corner chair in the hotel for sure.
James Gunn actually cut a line from that ending speech where Superman yells, "And when you say all these things about me, it hurts my feelings." They cut that out of the movie, but we still got that same. And I agree with you with the hero's journey, because so I'm listening to The Last Argument of Kings. It's book 3 in the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, and I love this book. the issue that I have are that some of the main characters there, and again, I'm fine with the gray here and there, especially in a book series like this. It's a grimdark book series, but for a movie, I am tired, and the same thing goes for we've talked about this with wrestling too, but it's more movies. I'm tired of the anti-hero. I'm tired. I just want someone like a Steve Rogers, like a true Superman, that is a true hero. Hell, go back to the first Iron Man with Tony Stark,
Hmm.
and what he became in his hero's journey.
I think it's the only time he was actually a hero in the MCU until like he snapped his fingers.
Yeah, so that's what we want. And this is, for it's fun for, seeing the Deadpool. It is. But that's not a hero. And we want movies and you go back to when Marvel was at peak Marvel, as they would say,
Hmm.
they cared about the character
Yeah.
arcs. Now they now they just it's like an assembly line. It's an
Well,
assembly line that doesn't have a script when they start filming, and they're changing anything, and
mhm.
it's
Well,
and
to your point, there's a great example of this. It's Bucky Barnes. You look at Bucky Barnes between the Winter Soldier and Civil War,
mhm,
right? And
yeah.
in the arc he goes through. Well, even let's jump all the way back to the first Captain America. So all three Captain America movies, Bucky Barnes. He starts out, he's this braggadocious hero. He really is. He gets
Mhm.
captured, he sacrifices himself to save people and he dies, as far as we know tragically. He comes back and like he's able to like overcome some of the programming and then in Winter Soldier, and then but like runs off, kind of like goes to figure out what's going on. And then in Civil War, he gets taken advantage of by Nemo or Zemo, sorry. And and from there he turns it around and he's like, yeah, let's go. And then, we get a neutered version of him from there on out. But well, I guess not so much in the Avengers movies,
It,
but like,
it,
but more recent Bucky Barnes is pretty neutered.
yeah. Um, and yes, that is the big issue. They've lost sight of that. And it's not, and again, going back to the hero's journey, think about the comics and what they used to be, and then think about what we talked about with was it a couple weeks ago when Bo DeMeo came out and talked about how Lou Esposito and
Mm-hmm.
especially particularly Esposito, but Kevin Feige as well, did not like writers using the comic books as reference. So we it's not a joke, so many of these people think they can do it better
Yeah,
than the original
and they
people,
can't.
and you can't. You've proven that you can't.
I'm sorry, Malcolm Spellman is not Stan Lee or Steve Ditko or Marv Wolfman or
Mhm.
Christopher Priest or um, you know, name a like, a great writer.
Chris Claremont.
Yes, thank you. Oh my god, I don't want them to do the X-Men now.
I don't I the more I see, and again, I thought Fantastic Four was fun. I thought they did some good things with it. It was kind of I really liked, and again, not as much as Fantastic Four. I absolutely liked the Thunderbolts.
Mhm.
There were severe issues with that too. But those two movies I did like.
Yeah.
But you know what they do make me? They actually only reinforce me not wanting them to do the X-Men, which you would say, why? Because you like these movies. Yeah, these were characters that shown other than Fantastic Four.
Hmm.
But I think they will absolutely gut what
Oh yeah.
The X-Men are, and they will do like a lot of writers have done,
Yeah.
and they will misconstrue
Oh
what
yeah.
the X-Men mean.
Yeah, they're gonna be like it's Malcolm X versus Martin Luther King Jr. Anyway, All right, let's hop back to this article real quick because there's 3 paragraphs here that I want to go over. It says here, this is the same Disney whose multi-billion-dollar content engines, Marvel and Lucasfilms, have sated men of all ages for almost 2 decades since the company acquired them. I'll give them Marvel. I will not give them Star Wars. Sources say Disney's been seeking new IP and pitches such as splashy global adventures and treasure hunts, as well as seasonal fare, like films for the Halloween corridor. The calls come as the Star Wars machine struggles to produce any film project in the superhero genre sheds audiences by the minute. While 2 insiders say the mandate to recruit young males goes as high as the C-suite, the task primarily has fallen to David Greenbaum, a former Searchlight Pictures co-head brought on in 2024 to run Disney's live-action film business. David, fire Kevin Feige. Exile Kathleen Kennedy to the moon. That label has been sorely lacking in the guy-leaning fare like Pirates of the Caribbean, the franchise, for nearly 10 years. Studios insiders say the property is in active development, though not in the latest reported iteration involving Margot Robbie. So they were going to turn Pirates of the Caribbean
into a girl
everybody's movie into a girl movie. Okay. To say nothing of the lackluster attempt to reboot / hand off Indiana Jones in the douche of density. In 2023, which earned $383 million worldwide on a $383 million worldwide on a $300 million budget. That movie lost $200 million.
That is spectacular.
Right? Good on you, Phoebe Waller-Bridger Gates, whatever the hell your weird-ass looking name face butt is. Anyway, a Disney source says that movies for Gen Z men are part of the overall strategy across all labels, but no more urgent than other quadrants. Now, this is the interesting thing. Greenbaum recently hired Daria Sursik, the savvy former Paramount Pictures co-chief, to assist in his effort. Greenbaum is beloved by talent, but has largely existed in prestige indie sphere, while Sursik shepherded films from franchises like Sonic the Hedgehog, A Quiet Place, and Smile. Some think the push for the demographic is simply Greenbaum trying to put his stamp on live action. Yet numerous power players who spoke with Variety see something ominous in the tea leaves. All right, you want to bring in boys. You want young men to come back to your brand. Do not hire a woman. Sorry, guys. There's the whole keep men out of women's spaces. Let's work on keeping women out of men's spaces for a minute while we rebuild some of this stuff. And then when they prove to us that they cannot shit all over the things we love, and look at the woman who directed The Last Jedi, did not understand Luke Skywalker at all and turned one of the quintessential heroes into a whiny green titty milk drinking,
It was blue.
Yeah, whatever. He sucks. And that lady got that completely wrong.
Yeah.
That's right, Ruin. You're a lady now. Fuck off. Anyway, so you look at all this stuff and you look at the what they did with Lilo and Stitch, right? They couldn't even keep Lilo and Stitch. Now, I've been told, because I've never seen either movie. But they couldn't even keep the spirit of the end of Lilo and Stitch intact. They had to send the girl off to go find her way.
Yes, but then, she can teleport back home.
Yeah, right. Anyway, and then you have they talk about Warner Brothers. The Minecraft movie made almost $1 billion. It might be over $1 billion at this point. But who's not what little boy who plays Minecraft isn't gonna love it, and then who's not gonna love seeing 2 clowns like Jason Momoa and Jack Black, hamming it up on the screen for 90 minutes, 80 minutes, whatever, 110 minutes, whatever it is, yeah, cool, do that, do more, give us more shitty comedies that we can laugh at. That's we don't need all this action and adventure all the time. We need breaks from that. Give us movies, what
No,
you
you just
know,
went to see The Naked Gun,
the Naked
and you were
Gun.
talking.
I love the Naked Gun. It was
And,
great. But like
and
even that was a little actiony, you know?
mhm,
Like I saw Weapons, right?
yeah,
6 out of 10. Like it's fine. The beginning of the movie is super boring because it's like, let's tell the story from this point of view. Great. Now we're going to jump back and we're going to tell a story from um, Wong's point of view. Great. Let's jump back. Now we're going to tell the story from Han Solo's point of view. All while the Silver Surfer is like running around like as the main character. And then when it got to the point where it was like, oh, okay, now we're starting to cook a little bit. This is getting kind of cool. It turned kind of funny. Like, and not like funny, like intentional funny. It was complete unintentional, like the Naruto running, like that everybody did. I was like, are you fucking, like, are you kidding? Like, this is not, why?
see, I would have laughed at that too.
I did.
Yeah,
I laughed. And Carlos like, this is the best movie of the year. I'm like, this is not as good as Sinners. This is definitely not as good as F1.
yeah.
Like,
Oh God, that movie was so good.
this probably isn't even as good as Friendship.
I still haven't seen that.
So I think it's coming to streaming on like the 5th or something like that on Max. But like, I don't think that Weapons was as good as the Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
So plain and simple. Anyway, um, but yeah, so there's all these different things that you can do to bring young men back to the theater, if that's your goal, or to get them to stream the shows you want to watch. Quit baiting and switching. Don't tell us it's an Obi-Wan show. Show us a bunch of clips of Obi-Wan fighting Darth Vader, but then make it about the black lesbian inquisitor who teaches Darth Vader life lessons.
Yeah, that bait and switch is a perfect call out because we've seen this so many times over the last several years
How dare you?
where
That's how dare
it
them for baiting
yeah,
and switching.
where and again, it's so funny you say that because they do that in video games now too. And they've even said that video games with, this, and again, we're going back to the woke shit where it's devaluing the hero's journey, emphasizing these weirdos, and I don't mean just like women, I mean weirdo characters
Yeah.
that that women don't like, that women don't actually play. If they did a study, for example, where women in fighting, like women who play fighting games and stuff like that, guess what? They like the characters of the women that are like that are busty and look cool, not the ones with the shaved heads. So those are women saying that.
Yeah.
So so in their pursuit to
Nobody likes
like
a
this
woman
whole
with a shaved head. Like Will Smith's definitely gonna smack me in the face for this, but look at Jada Pinkett Smith. Nobody likes her.
no.
Now her head isn't like shaved; it all fell out. But still,
Yeah.
it's a thing. Nobody likes her. So, like, I don't want to see movies with her in it. But I mean, we've gotten some like this year. We've gotten like kind of more like kind of male centric movies. When you
I think
look
so,
at it.
yes. Yeah.
All the way from. I mean, it started at the beginning of the year with like Love Hurts.
Yeah.
That was a great little rom-com with a hidden kung fu movie in it.
Which was so much more fun than I expected. Even though not great, but yeah, it's
But like The Gorge, The Gorge was good.
yeah.
Mickey 17 was great. What else?
Den of Thieves, Pantera, which was more of an actiony type stuff.
Den of Thieves, like that's one of my favorite. I mean, Companion. Companion wasn't like a girl movie. That was an everybody movie. Even though it sucked, A Working Man. The Amateur. The Amateur was awesome.
Well, this was another
Awesome,
example of
that's a little overstated. The Amateur's really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I liked it better than the original because it's a remake.
yes, which I didn't. I've never seen the original.
28 years later, turned into a girl movie. You know?
you had Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
Which
that
that was a fun movie.
And
talking
Dak did
about
a really good job, like balancing of the sexes with like,
yes,
Jim from The Office and him flirting with the terrorist girl and all that stuff. That was fun.
yeah, that was a fun, and that's what they need. Like they need to get back to. And like again, we talked about F1. We've talked about the Fantastic Four, which had, I think, Fantastic Four. Even though in hindsight, the more I think about the less. It's funny. I thought he was fine, Pedro Pascal, but the more I think about, the less I liked his character. I did like Johnny Storm's character. I liked that they gave him something to do, and it was actually important. It wasn't just let's give him something to do. But yes, there are movies this year, I think it seems, and I'm not talking about Disney and Lucasfilm and all that stuff. I mean, just from a broader spectrum, there are very good examples of movies doing a good job of getting back to what movies should be.
Well, I hated the movie, but like Jurassic World Afterbirth, like Scarlett Johansson's the lead, but that's not a girl movie.
No, it's not.
So, I mean, it's awful. Don't get me wrong. It's probably my least favorite movie of the year. But
no, I thought you gave something.
We're disagreeing on this.
No, I thought you gave something. No, I was just thinking.
No,
like
I gave that a 2. That's the lowest rating I gave anything.
Oh, that's okay.
Like,
I gave Happy Gilmore a 2.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. I don't know why you would do such a thing. So, like a Working Man has a higher score than Jurassic World Afterbirth.
I'd watch Jurassic World like 100 times over.
Oh, Novocaine was bad. That was the thing.
Oh, Novocaine was bad.
Novocaine
Again,
was
neither
bad.
one of these, like,
But that's a
neither
girl
one
movie
of these
too with Jack Quaid.
Well,
like
I mean,
she's just in there. Anyway, yeah, I like we got The Accountant too. That was like kind of fun, even though he went full, Robert Downey Jr. or Ben Stiller in Tropic Thunder. He went full Simple Jack.
That.
So, what do you mean you haven't seen it? It's streaming on like 5 different things right now.
I know I haven't watched it yet. I just haven't watched it yet.
What the hell's wrong with you? Anyway, all right. But yeah, so here's what Disney has to do. 1, sell Marvel and Star Wars. 2, go back to the business that they were doing before, when they knew their audience well, and they knew how to deliver to their audience.
Yes.
And 3, just let us erase like everything after Far From Home and everything after Episode 6.
There's something happening after Episode 6.
Well, I mean, Rebels has to go, like all that stuff. Like just like we got to throw the good out with the bad, like because there was some good stuff, but like like the Mandalorian, gone. Grogu, gone. Jack Black and Lizzo being in the Star Wars universe, gone.
So I wouldn't go that far because I think, I wouldn't go that far in that sense of specifically knocking all that stuff out.
If we get rid
at
of
the
it,
same
maybe
time,
Katie
I would.
Sackhoff will get her confidence back.
Yeah, I would just ignore it, especially what happened in the movies. More so, it's easier to ignore.
You know what they
the
could
stuff that
do?
happens
They
on
could
small
treat it
screen.
like Tokyo Drift. Because they went 3 movies after Tokyo Drift, and they're like, "We're gonna get there."
Yeah.
Han, why aren't you going to Tokyo? I don't know. I don't have the time.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I mean, right? It was like, I mean, he even says the line when Giselle asks him when they're on the Autobahn, and she goes, "So what about Tokyo?" He goes, "We'll get there." And he looks at the camera eventually. I think Fast 4 is underrated, by the way, after rewatching it.
It's been a while, so couldn't tell you.
It's got Mother's Milk in it. Marvin with
that he doesn't have the
Nitro
beard
Meth.
there.
He's got a beard. He doesn't have the beard, but no. But
Okay.
he's also like 20 years younger and jacked and like, has a grill and is awesome as whatever the hell Viper or
Yeah.
Mongoose or whatever his name was. Anyway, all right. We've meandered about this. So all right. So here's the thing. Disney, stop. If you can't do it right, don't do it. If you can't make good superhero movies, like nobody can anymore. So cool. Let's just put them on the shelf for a while. All of them. Let's not make 3 a year. No, let's not put out 2 series a year. Let's go back to just giving us some cartoons every year, like to satiate. Like, did you know it's been 7 years since there's been a Star Wars movie in the theater?
I saw that in the article and I did not realize that
And
it's
it's
been that
like,
long.
I'm like, yeah, like I think Star Wars should have gone away for a decade. Like,
Well, yeah,
it
we've
should
talked
still
about that.
be exiled on the moon with the blue milk titty cow, like
And
eating
this is
porgs.
the thing about that though.
So
This is the thing about something like that. If you have a catalog of creativity, and I don't mean live action remakes, I mean the catalog of creativity for what it means, you don't need to go to that well of the MCU
no,
or
no,
to that well of the you can say, okay, you know what? They got their taste of Star Wars for 5, 6 years. Let's hold off for another 7 to 10 years.
Mhm.
Oh well, we finished the Infinity War saga. Let's not do any type of superhero movie for another 7 to 10
Right.
years. The thing is, they get these cash cows, and they can't change
Well,
themselves,
and,
and
and
that's why
and the
with this.
other thing too is like the movie going audiences taste change. Like you've been collecting the Clint Eastwood cowboy movies. There was a time where cowboy
Yeah.
movies were the most popular movies out there, and then
Oh yes.
people got tired of them. So it was like cool.
Yeah. It's okay to
Hmm.
not have a superhero movie every year.
Yeah.
It's actually better if you. It's like Star Wars. Star Wars works best when you have a trilogy, over a 5, 6 year period or something like that, and then it goes away for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe not like 15 years, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't need that. That's going a little bit overboard.
But also,
And
like for
that's
some
why.
of this stuff, don't pretend like content doesn't exist for it. That was the other thing
Mhm.
that bothered me.
Yeah,
So
and the one thing we didn't talk about before we get up,
yeah.
they have bought a $1.5 billion stake in Fortnite,
Mm,
which is, well, Fortnite is what it is. It's been, yes, Fortnite continues to just make massive money, but apparently this is the thing though. Disney does not own the movie distribution rights to
right.
Fortnite. So I don't know what that means and what they're going to do with that as they try to attract Gen Z
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, them selling off, giving Lucasfilm, fi- firing Kevin Feige, because again, Feige, he did a great job in the beginning.
Yeah, he started out great,
And
but it's like a booker in wrestling. They only last so
yeah,
long. They
well,
only have
hey,
good ideas for so long.
well, that's a perfect example. Or look at Chris Nolan.
Hmm.
Yeah, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and then The Dark Knight Rises. One
Yeah.
of these is not like the other.
Yeah, Batman Begins was the good one.
Dark Knight Rises was far and away the most disappointing of the trilogy. And people look at Christopher Nolan as the greatest film. I don't. I think Christopher Nolan has done some very excellent, great, great movies,
Hmm.
but he's not perfect. Bottom line is, I don't know. Yeah, they can say all this stuff that they're working towards Gen Z and this and that, but again, they say show and prove. Disney has not shown anything in pretty much the last 5 to 7 years to let me think that they understand.
Right. Because they don't.
Because I don't think they do. It's more along the lines of, well, let's try to paint over this thing that we did to the wall in the hopes that nobody sees it. Well, you know what? It goes far beyond the wall. It's the foundation that everything is built on. And that's why I don't think that they're going to get out of the hole they created.
Yeah, they're not. It's never going to happen. Star Wars is dead. Marvel is dead. The only good thing that came out of all of this was apparently Kumail Nanjiani signed like a 6-picture deal in a video game, and none of that's ever going to happen now for his character. And, the way he went after fans, he's sad about that. And I'm happy. All right, let's move on, shall we?
Let's go.
All right. Alien Earth, Episode 3, Metamorphosis. I will give you the spoiler-free. I don't want to do too many spoilers for this. The spoiler-free. The Alien Earth saga intensifies in Metamorphosis. Wendy races to save her brother Joe from the brutal xenomorph. I almost called it an exomorph. That's a different thing from a different game. Anyway, from a brutal xenomorph attack aboard the Minoit, or however you say it, then faces fallout, both physical and metaphysical, after a gruesome rescue. Meanwhile, Morrow grapples with cyborg identities. Wendy ties to the aliens deeper, ominously corporate. Wendy's ties to the aliens deepens ominously, and corporate scientists undertake disturbing bioexperiments. Humanity's darkness may be real. Anyway, so this was written by Noah Hawley and co-creator Bob DeLaurentis. It was directed by Dana Gonzales, who directed the last one, and it aired on August 19th, 2025 on FX and FX on Hulu. The new episode, we're actually recording on the 26th, so the new episode came out right before we started recording, so obviously we'll talk about it next week. Thoughts?
As I said before we started recording.
Thoughts, but give me what you liked about the episode, and then we'll discuss what we didn't like about the episode.
Okay. To be honest, there's not a ton that I truly like. There's not a lot that I really dislike. It's a lot of meh. What I really like, and I look at Kirsch, played by the Timothy Olyphant fan. He is a fascinating character to me. Because there is so much more behind. He has some of these facial expressions is when he's speaking with Cavalier about something, and his expression when Cavalier kind of like calls him out on something, it's like that does not compute, a little annoyed. Yeah, I guess I got to do this type thing. That's gonna, like, watching him throughout these scenes, and again, he's basically like a chaperone with these lost boys on this derelict ship, which, by the way, Cavalier, being this super genius, is really effing stupid. I will say that, like, this guy is, again, it kind of tracks though, because this whole thing is about the lost boys, and he's like the Peter Pan of not growing up, and it shows. He is a genius with this prodigy company, but he shows in his actions he is very immature, and he's very ignorant about things that are going on. And he has adults trying
spoiled.
Yes. And no one can tell him anything just because he's this super genius that created this company, and that's going to end up being his downfall, is not listening.
Yeah.
So, but like I actually want more to see more of Kirsch, and I find I like the levity that they have between him and the Lost Boys, where he's like, "Look with your eyes," or when a guy's about to touch something, it's like look with your eyes, dude. Don't just touch something.
Well, how many
I
times when you were a kid would you be like, would someone tell you, you see with your eyes, not your fingers?
Yes,
Like
yes,
that was a saying that our parents used to tell us. And as a dad, I
yeah.
have said that before. Um, you see with your eyes, not your fingers. Anyway,
And that
yeah.
and that's the other thing I will say I'd like is, and that we've talked about this last week. The actors playing the Lost Boys, from start to finish, like from first to the last, they were just such a great job reminding us that they are kids
Hmm.
in these synthetic hybrid adult bodies, which bravo on them for doing
Oh
that.
yeah.
So those are the main points that I really liked are the Kirsch, the Lost Boys, and again with the Lost Boys, I think her name is Nibs. That again going back to how dumb Cavalier is, sending mental children into a situation that they are mentally not ready for. You don't think about the effects that has, and that's what I'm curious about if we're going to see, because we kind of see it with Nibs and almost like the PTSD of that,
Hmm.
what was that, the little octopus thing trying to
Yeah.
get at her. So I want to see. That's what I one of the things I'm really fascinated with, not just Kirsch, but the Lost Boys in their development of, yes, they were transplanted from human bodies into these synth bodies, but how much of that, the emotional aspect will remain? Is that something that can be tweaked by Cavalier and Prodigy, or
Hmm.
where is that going to go? So those are the main things of this episode that I really liked, and that's kind of been the through line for
Yeah.
me. What has really captivated me for the first three episodes.
Cool. Yeah. Timothy Oliphant is my favorite part of the show. I mean, of course I'm biased, but like I actually wish the show, like I wish everything happened with the crash and everything, but I wish this show revolved more around him with Wendy and the Lost Boys, and we had um, Cavalier as this like overarching like ominous like petulance that is like do this, do that. No, daddy, I want an Oompa Loompa. Like I do think that would like add an air of like Lex Lutherism to him, um, like good Lex Luthor, that not like Nicholas Holt Lex Luthor. But anyway, I agree. I love the way these actors are playing the hybrids. When Smee and Slightly jump behind Kirsch when he walks in, and they're like, he had a knife, and he's like, I can see that. Like, you know, my other favorite thing that you didn't talk about, well, two. One was what's her name, Curly,
Mhm.
and trying to supplant Wendy as the favorite
Yes, that
hybrid.
was really good. Yes.
I loved seeing the machinations of, because who hates a girl more than another girl, right?
100%.
Like yeah,
100%. Yeah.
like they don't want to see each other succeed. Rarely. I'm not gonna say it all because I'm not a Sith. I don't speak in absolutes, but like, or I try not to speak in absolutes. But there was that. But then uh like I loved like what we're getting to see. Like Wendy cut that alien's head clean off, and it was acidy, right? So like
Mhm.
why is some of it not acid? Why is it anyway? So but the thing that I liked was like they're in the lab, they're testing it. They removed one of Joe's lungs because it was damaged, and then introduced the face hugger like larva to it. Like when they cut it out and then they stuck it in the lung. That's cool. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
That's another good. Yeah.
let's see what's happening here. This is fun. Um, like that's the stuff that is going to move the Alien franchise further. Like, and I think this is where like Noah Hawley really does a great job, because like even though parts of this episode were kind of confusing, um, it was still a huge world building episode, which we still need at this point.
Yeah. And I call this episode, I call it incomplete, which you have to rate an episode, you have to judge it
Hmm.
by on its own
Right.
merits, but it is a bigger part of a whole. And it could be one of those where next week, where, well, I guess we'll talk about it next week, where this week's episode
Hmm.
chains into this one, where it makes that episode, like this past, episode three,
Hmm.
better than what it was for us.
Right.
But again, that's well and good for the overarching story. But at the same time, as an episode itself, I found it lacking
Yeah.
on its own merits,
Yeah.
So,
I agree. I think it was meant to be like I think 2 and 3 were meant to be more of a single episode. Um, but they didn't have a natural like handoff, like other than the
right.
fact that we kind of left and then picked up. But then it felt really rushed, and like some of them, like Nibs was back. Nibs was like somewhere else, like back on the island, and while the other ones are still in, the Mignot, whatever, So it was like the timeline was weird for me. Um, I had to rewind it a couple times to be like, okay, I wasn't paying close enough attention to what just happened here,
Mhm.
and I was
Yeah, and even,
paying kind of close attention. So, like, it was just kind of that. And I
and
agree with
even
you
with the
about.
whole
Sorry, last point. I agree with you about the boy genius. That like there's too much, too much. He's too dumb to be that smart.
right. And the other thing is going with the confusing, and which could pay off. Well, it better pay off later, because if not, that's just terrible writing. And I don't think Noel Hawley's a bad writer. I think it's
Hmm.
actually a very good writer.
Oh yeah.
Is we've gotten the hints of this, how Wendy hears the frequency, I guess you would say,
Hmm.
of the xenomorph for some reason, and why that reason is, I don't know. And how we're left with her again, just splayed out on the floor. I One thing, let me actually backtrack. There's a scene that I did not really care for, and it was her the entire scene between her brother and the xenomorph.
Hmm.
Without going into too many spoiler details, there's this trope, and we just talked about Star Wars. They do this a lot. Lightsabers don't kill anymore.
Hmm.
Um, but and again, this is not just this is with a lot of movies where, oh, you know this massive thing punctures somebody, and they miraculously can keep walking around like nothing happened
Yeah.
until the story deems that they
Well, they were
have to collapse
punctured, and
in.
then they got, like you said, they got up, but like they also got like yeeted across the room.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, just
anyway,
getting that yeeted across the room, that's gonna
yeah.
knock some stuff out of place. So
It's like when you
again, this is
watch
not
a movie or whatever, and the person gets like thrown up against the wall, and they land like completely on their spine on a corner. It's like, yes, that person is
will
paralyzed
never
now.
walk again.
Like, like we saw, like, so we watched Paper Tigers. She'd never watched Paper Tigers the other day, and like
Oh, that's a fun
at the
movie.
end when Dasain, like, throws the evil tiger against the wall and paralyzes him. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what would happen.
Perfect example. I was almost at the Harry Potter, but
Baymo.
the Harry Dresden Files books
Hmm.
is, spoiler alert for those who I'm not going to say when, but the main character falls off a ladder, trying to save somebody, and he actually breaks his back and is paralyzed. And there's a way he, gets out of it, but it makes sense from a story standpoint. But he actually fell off a ladder. It wasn't he was yeeted across, the street into a, fire hydrant.
Right. Right.
But again, this is not just this show. This happens, like I said, that's why I said it's a trope, where it's like, oh my gosh, really? It was like when the Scoobies would fight vampires in Buffy, and they would get yeeted all around, they'd be fine.
Hmm.
It's like, all right, whatever, you know. But yeah, it's I'm really hoping that this next episode 4, helps start picking up the piece. Because again, we're halfway through the season now.
Yeah, I mean we're almost halfway. Yeah, so
Yeah. So again, when we have 8 episode season, I think it's 8 or is it 9?
it's 8. It is
But the
8.
thing is, when you have 8, okay, it's when you have 8 to 10 episodes, especially when you have 8, you don't have a lot of room, to go meandering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, that's why I did like how this started. I really like how this started. You picked up in the middle, you saw, the crew of the Maginot, whatever, however you pronounce that, and then you saw what happened to him, and then you get quick flashbacks of bits and pieces of what happened. And that's how you have to play it, especially a show that's world building, which the way they've done the world building has been, they've done that very well. Like, despite my issues with this episode, it does continue the world building, and that's another fascination for me. You have Kirsch, you have the Lost Boys and his relationship with them. Then you have the world building, and that, when I say world building, it's primarily the aliens that, and what's going to happen with them. What's how when is shit going to hit the fan?
Right.
That's basically what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. Same. All right. So out of 5, where is it here? Out of 5 corporate smiles and acid spores, the future looks funds. What do you give this?
I give it a 3.1. It was fine. There was, especially talking about it, there was definitely more I liked than I did not or had issues with, but it was very tough to get over the hump, get past those issues that I had. And like I said, maybe episode 4 helps clean up some of the confusion and that we had in this episode. But yeah, 3.1 out of 5.
Nice. Yeah, I'm changing
That I
mine.
can do.
I'm to the same. I had it as 3.01, but I'm going to give the full 10th of a point there. I think, yeah, I do think like it has the ability to pay stuff off, and in retrospect, it could be like the first season of Breaking Bad. After you watch the first half of season 5, you're like, oh, season 1 makes sense now. Like, cool, way to go, Terry Gilliam. And Noah Hawley's that kind of writer, so.
Yeah, so I do trust him to bring us home. It's just that, sometimes there are going to be little hitches in the road. So this is one of those, but it still gets to 3.1. So it's not like everything was bad about it. It's just that from what we've gotten so far, it still does a good job, but there are things it could have cleaned up.
Right. Yeah, you're right. All right. Well, that's the episode. Anything you want to add?
Just came across the wire 2 hours ago. Cracker Barrel's going back to the original logo.
Did you see the meme of her? It was Waffle House Employee of the Year.
No.
Yeah. Here, I'll send it to you right now. But yeah, I don't know. I figured you'd talk about your Portnoy boy.
Oh, no, that's hilarious. And again, the fact that you've won a national championship and you're still down as bad as you are, that's impressive, Ohio State fan.
Yeah,
that's
it is.
legit impressive.
It is impressive suck nutness. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, it's great. So, all right, we're back next week. It's football season. We're gonna transform from nerd stuff into a New York Football Giants podcast, because we're gonna be eating dubs all year long. So, Tommy Kellett's got cut today.
Oh man!
Here's the thing.
Really?
He should go. Like, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should sign him. And then every time Baker runs in for a touchdown, because he'll, he's good to run for like 6 or 8 touchdowns a season. He should run over and they should do the cheer together. The little Tommy Cutlets, like when he scored. But yeah. Anyway, man, I have hope, and I'm so sad I have hope right now.
Okay, Hawkeye.
No, I love this team. I like on paper, their chemistry on like all the social media posts, the fun they had during preseason. I love this team, and I'm like,
yeah.
All right, if you guys only win 4 games, I'm going to be really upset. Like if you win 7 games, I'm going to be really happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're gonna have to tell them, man. Like just respond to their like. Don't give me hope, man.
Yeah.
Don't give me hope.
I mean, like the draft, they got everything they needed, so now those people just need to execute. As long as Cam Scatterbo doesn't come out and like shit the bed in week 1, I'm ordering a 44. I'm just like ready to go. I really just wanted a jersey that says Scatterbo on the back.
Of course you do.
So I mean, like, plus,
but he was,
he's a freaking.
He should
tank.
be. Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. He is. He absolutely is.
All right. So, all right. On that note, thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week with more alien talk and some other stuff. All right. Later.
See ya.
The Infamous Podcast is recorded in Kings Mills, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. You can find new episodes every Sunday on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, our website, or anywhere podcasts are downloaded. This show is hosted by Daryl Jasper and me, Brian Tudor. To find more information about the show, visit us at infamouspodcast.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Infamous Podcast to keep up with the show. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/infamouspodcast. We have some great rewards for our patrons and are looking for help to grow the show to bring you more of the content you want to hear. Music for this podcast is provided by Michael Henry from meetmichaelhenry.com. So, whenever you're listening to us, have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whenever it is, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.